Hi, I am Dr. Sam Alexander. I am with Pickard Chiropractic, and the thing I'm looking forward to getting the most today is places I can go and tell everyone my why.
Hello. I go by many names: Dr. Sam, Dr. Alexander, Dr. A, Dr. Samantha. So I have been in Billings for about 3 years now. With that, I was at a different practice actually, and I have moved to Pickard Chiropractic as of end of October last year. With that, my biggest thing I love to work with is women's health and making better lifestyle changes and stuff like that. I feel as though there's a great need for more women providers, especially in Billings, and more women providers that are in the community. So a little bit of my medical history. This is part of my why. I was 15, 16 years old having pain in both shoulders, and I went to 2 different orthopedic doctors, and they both told me, well, we don't know what's going on. I was like, cool. That didn't help me with anything. I'm still in pain. I'm still having these issues. So I kind of was like, okay, this modern medicine thing might not be for me. And that started me on my path to look into non-traditional medicine. So looking at chiropractic, acupuncture, now dry needling, different therapies like cupping, scraping, that type of stuff to see if maybe that would help me with my pain. And chiropractic adjustments do. So if you guys ever have any questions about that, I'm more than happy to sit down and chat with you guys. Probably one of my best stories this year so far is I had a patient come in last week, first time ever seeing me, and she starts talking about she has hypermobility. So basically, you're double jointed in every joint in your body, which sucks. Very painful. You feel like you're walking like one of those dumpy people that just kind of fall apart as you're walking. And I said, oh, I have that. That's the same diagnosis that I have. And she was like, you were the answer that I needed today. As she was checking out, she actually started crying at the front desk. And I was like, holy crap, like I made that change. I was the person that she needed, and I'm hoping to bring that to more people. So my current challenge is definitely getting those patients' first foot in the door. We work on all ages, so soon as a baby's born, all the way up until the end of life. We work on everything in between: athletes, non-athletes, people that are just trying to move for the day. People that wake up and say, yeah, I'm in 10 out of 10 pain. I come get adjusted, and now we've knocked it down to maybe a 6 out of 10 pain. And breaking into communities. So one of my hopes is with this in particular is kind of getting some ideas of who I should talk to in town, who I should go and do something like this, present and say, hey, this is what I do. What I've tried so far is consistently posting on social media. Apparently they were not doing that before. I joined events. One of them was Operation Juliet. It's female veterans. I was at their cadence workshop. That's where I met Danielle, actually. And then I'm also doing Danielle Spark to Heal this year, one of her vendors. So I'm trying to find other things like that to do. One of the things I've learned is that it's definitely difficult to have 2 doctors in the office trying to promote both of our businesses. He's been in town, I think now it's on to like his 16th year. I'm only in my 3rd year. So trying to say, hey, come see me, don't just see him. And getting that name out there. Being consistent, saying, hey, I need to be a presence. I need to say, this is my name, come see me, come find me. So my community ask right now is, what events, what community should I join? What area should I look at specifically if there's like a children's event that I should go to, or like a prenatal event I should go see, or just big events in town in general. I know like the Magic City Wellness Expos every year, the Yellowstone Food Truck Battle. That one you can't be a vendor at, or I haven't figured that one out yet. I would love to be there, or at least donate like water bottles with our name on it or something like that. And then what education type thing should I do? That's what I mean by what can I change to make more people feel safe with chiropractic? There is a lot of negative information out there with chiropractors. So if there's any like education events I should join, should I have like coffee with a chiropractor once a week? That type of stuff. I don't know if that would work here in Billings, so that's part of my ask of saying, hey, what else is there? This is my contact information. So the big one is the Pickard Clinic. And then the one below that is my personal contact information. So the samschiro0@gmail comes directly to me. So I can correspond with you guys that way. So if you guys want to sit down and have a cup of coffee later, that would be the best way to reach out to me. Other than that, time for questions.
Great job. How about a big hand for it? So if I'm reading this right? So you work with Dr. Bo.
Yes.
And so you're really trying to build your business within the framework under the umbrella of his practice. Yep. And so there's an expectation for you to bring on
my own patients.
Your own client base. Last year, it would have been last February, I was lifting a snowblower, which are heavy, awkward, shouldn't have been doing it.
Listen, that's the number one back injury.
My parents' snowblower, so I was taking it to the shop to get fixed. And I lifted it up and I put it in the truck and I went, ooh. And I felt a pinch, but I was like, okay, it's going to be fine. Yeah. So it felt fine for like a week. Okay. And all of a sudden I woke up one day, a week later, and I could not even get out of bed. Couldn't use the restroom. I couldn't do anything. And so I went to a chiropractor. I didn't know you at the time, otherwise I'd came and seen you. But I went there every day for, I don't know, maybe 10 days to 2 weeks. And I've never had any problems since. And I swear by it because I had a pinched nerve and put the disc back where it needed to go. Yep. But I think you're right. I think there's a negative connotation at times where it's just all snap, crackle, pop. And that was not the experience I had. So I was asking you, maybe you could speak specifically. I call it a gun. Yeah. It's not. It's an activator. Yes. Is that something that all chiropractors use? Can you speak to that?
So one of our tools in our tool belt is the activator. Some people call it a gun. Some people call it the clicky thing. Basically what it is it's a tool to help us adjust a patient that's a little bit gentler. So we aren't putting our hands, putting a whole bunch of force into the body. So like your accident, I would have started you with the activator first just to kind of help get things moving without making the pain worse. A lot of chiropractors use them, but then some chiropractors are very like, no, our way is hands-on only. This is the only way we're doing it. So I'm kind of middle of the road. Okay. I do both.
Questions? Who wants to start? Shelby.
Who do you work with everybody?
Yes.
But who do you want to work with?
Women and children.
What's the best match?
Yeah. Women and children, definitely.
Are you positioning yourself as that online? Because it's not, I mean, it's a niche. Yeah. Right? And the content around that can help feed into that. So and I know it's sometimes scary to niche down to something because you can serve everybody. Yeah. But then if you are the provider for females in Billings, right? I don't know the research behind that, but of who it could be or who your competition is. And even if you have competition, it doesn't matter because there's a lot of women here, right? So so you can create becoming the expert in a certain area as a way to help guide some more.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Working on it. And it's 100% a work in progress all the time. You're always having to shift.
A fine line of what we can legally say that we do. So like with adjustments, we are focusing on the nervous system. And so we're trying to open up those pathways. Mm-hmm. That's what our bread and butter is. But to explain that in a way that's not going to legally get me in trouble. Yeah. Like we can't say, we can help you regulate your periods or anything. Right. We can't talk about that on social media. But
you could still identify yourself as the
female,
female chiropractor.
Okay. I also do like nutrition and supplement consultations. So I'm still trying to figure out how to word that correctly for social media.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No. Did not think about that.
Might be something because that your YouTube shorts will particularly get more visibility than a lot of things on social media. And you can use it on your social media too. But it helps develop your presence, and the trust factor is such a big thing with any service provider, whether you're a business consultant or a chiropractor, and you develop a lot more trust that way. So if you're clearly invested in going to events and getting to know people, and this is a way to build that trust. So it might just be something to think about, that you can build your content every Monday and roll out 5 short videos about how the benefits of chiropractic. Yeah. So that might be another way to get to know people.
Didn't even think about YouTube, so thank you.
There's a lot of female models here that would be happy to volunteer. Lots of questions.
My question is, so you had shoulder pain, it got rid of your pain. And because of that, like, now what do you do that is like so inspiring that, like, this is what I do now because my life is 100% amazing?
So with the like shoulder stuff, the chiropractic part of that was looking at more natural remedies. So I actually do quite a few supplements throughout the day. And also it just inspired me to say there's a different path that you can take. You don't have to go to your general practitioner. They hand you a whole bunch of pills and try it that way.
I think if it was me on social media, I'd want to see what you're doing in your life by using the natural remedies.
Okay.
Like, that would inspire me. Oh, so, there's another way to get to where I want to go versus, taking a pain pill or something like that.
Okay. That's a good idea too.
What's next?
In answer to your question, there's a junior league conference in June that's women only.
Okay.
And then they are asking for vendors there.
Oh.
And Shanna Rogers is a mental health practitioner here in Billings, and she loves working with women, perinatal, postnatal, all of that. She'd be a great contact.
Okay. Thank you.
So if you might not be able to say, I can, chiropractic can do this or whatever, but do you have testimonials from patients that they would be willing to say, I had this experience, or this is something that I do on a regular basis, or other testimonials that you could use that might help to share your mission and your vision and the things that you're wanting to, the people that you're wanting to attract in?
I want to. I don't know what's better, written testimonials or video testimonials.
Or a combination of both, probably.
Okay.
John?
So I have a kind of a 2-part question. So are you like renting a booth, like renting the room from Pickard, or are you like part owner of it?
So I am an associate, but more of like an independent contractor type situation.
Okay.
So
you're kind of paid based on who you see.
So like if I see you today, I get money off the fact that you walked in the door to see me.
Okay. Okay.
And that's so
you're not paid a salary, you're paid based on your patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for chiropractic, that is the best way I have actually found out to be in an office.
Yeah.
Because now I don't have to pay overhead.
Right.
I don't have to pay rent. If something happens to the actual,
goes on and on.
Yeah.
So my other question with that, so because there's a lot you can be doing with like marketing, social media marketing, and different things. You said they weren't doing anything on social media for a while. So like, is Pickard Chiropractic, are they open to investing more in marketing, or like what does that look like?
So we just changed our radio station marketing. So now we're being talked about, I think it's once a week now. Whereas before it was like once a month at 8:10 in the morning, like a specific day and stuff. So now it's like once a week they are doing like our commercial and talking about us. I think it was last month we were on the Big J show. Me and Bo both went in and like talked on the radio.
Yeah, Bo for a long time was really, really active building his business.
Yeah.
With BNI and Biz to Biz and the chamber, and I'm sure now he's just overloaded, which is why you're there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so now you're kind of stepping into that role of really building your brand, letting people know who you are, because you want to let people know who the person behind the brand behind the name, right?
Yeah.
Dana?
Okay, so my question is a little bit more detailed onto how things work in the office, because I know you and I had a conversation about social media marketing, and there's a lot of us in here that can help you with that. Heather's comment about the junior league, I can't remember what's it called. I can't remember, but I'll be there too, so I can share that with you. But
perfect.
I know you're working on getting all of the clients to be aware of you, but then there seemed to be a bit of an in-office kind of hiccup between them calling and then just getting on the schedule with either of you. So I know you had the solution of you calling people directly from when you go to an event.
Yes.
Have you thought of any other way within the office to manage how the patients get distributed? Is there a solution?
That one we're still working on. I know when I talk to someone in public and stuff, I try to say when you call, make sure you say, I want to see Dr. Sam. So they know, or the female chiropractor. So that the office kind of knows when they answer the phone for the new patient that it's coming to me. And I think that's something that we need to discuss as an office of saying, hey, what's a better way? Because this is getting a little weird.
Yeah.
So it's one of those we probably all need to sit down together and say.
Just based off that statement, like when they're answering the phone, is it possible you can bring up the suggestion that they add into their script, are you here to see Dr. So-and-so or Dr. So-and-so? So that starts bringing it up and you're both acknowledged.
I think we do need to start enacting that.
I think that would help because it kind of gives people a choice.
Yeah.
And if they're like, oh, I don't remember. Yes, that's the one.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We probably need to, when I go back to work today.
One and only Teresa, bye to everybody.
I was just going to piggyback on Susie. I think that's a great idea because, like, as a woman, I would prefer a woman.
Right.
So that would let people know up front that there's a woman option.
Okay.
And then when you say women's health, like, what all does that entail? I mean, are you qualified to branch out and like hormone replacement therapy, those kinds of things? Because that seems to be very trendy and perimenopause, and menopause is all the rage these days. So I just think that's kind of a trendy niche thing that all of me and my friends are interested in, right?
So legally, I cannot do hormone replacement therapy. That is out of my scope of practice. But I do know the providers in town that I trust that I would go to as someone that needs hormone replacement therapy. Right now I don't, but
I was asking for a friend.
yeah. There is someone in our office.
To Teresa's point, is if you were connected with other folks in town that did that, and you could refer them and then reciprocate.
Yeah.
Right. Another one of my questions, and this is not a sexist statement, so I want to make sure I qualify that before I get arrows thrown at me. Is it true, and this is not just for you, I feel like women are much more proactive and engaged in their health, whereas guys like me
100%.
only react when I can't get out of bed. You know what I mean? And I was like, I probably should have been a little more preventative versus reactive. Is that true?
100%. My dad and fiance are horrible about going to the doctor. And what's ironic is my dad is a doctor. And I'm like, dude, like, you're in the hospital.
They're the worst, right? Yeah.
Like, just go down to your friend in the cardiac unit and say, hey, can you help me look at, like, the other thing too is I try to tell my patients, once we get you out of the like, oh crap, I hurt myself stage, the best thing to do is come in once a month. Because that's the preventative side of it. That's the if I do have a blowout, we can contain it better. It's not a full, like, I am down for 2 weeks. It's, I'm down for maybe a day.
So I fall into that category, and I feel like there's an opportunity. So I have a guy, right, who I love and I've seen for a really long time, and he does a fantastic job. Yeah. But he's also very busy. And so in the event when you treated me and you did a fantastic job, it was because of an accident. I fell in my backyard and hurt myself, and I was like, and he couldn't fit me in. So I think there also could be an opportunity for you to, if people have regular, they're already seeing somebody regularly and they love that experience, but in the event that something comes up, they have somebody they trust to fall back on. And I know you're younger than him, and I'm going to need the transition when he is ready to move on. And so, developing that relationship as maybe not even the primary, but as somebody that I can go to in the event that I can't get into my regular guy, right? I would choose you. And now that I know where you are, that's a great, so just that might be some additional support in terms of how you're sharing your messages.
And I know, like, with the current office, if I'm bored up in my office right now, I go downstairs and interact with the patients as they come in. So they still see my face every time they come in and know that, yes, I am still here. I am still an active chiropractor in this office. And then I also try to interact. Like, there's a couple that we know that will refer a lot of patients to us. So I try to make sure I check in with them like once a month and say, hey, how are you doing? I'm still here. Come see me.
Oh, question, to Danielle. You were talking about kids, and I know babies, you see babies and colic and all those kinds of things. Can you speak to that a little bit? Because I remember when my kids were little, we had all kinds of challenges, and I was like, chiropractic, really?
So adjusting babies is completely different than adjusting adults. With most babies, especially newborns, I like to hold them on my chest, and you're basically just holding pressure. You're not really putting any force into their body. You're holding pressure, but you have to know where to hold it correctly. So one of my favorite babies, he was very colicky, acid reflux, diarrhea, all those great things that a new mom's just like, what do I do? So he came in, started getting him adjusted at least like once a week, and a lot of that started to clear up. Another baby I had, she wasn't walking correctly. She was born breech. And so they could have missed something in her hips when they went to check it afterwards. So we started adjusting her, and she caught up to her twin in all of her milestones. So I was like, that's cool. That's something you don't see every day.
That would be so cool on the video.
Yeah. So that's some of the stuff too. Like, I'm hoping to get a pregnant woman that is willing to allow me to kind of video her journey of getting adjusted through her pregnancy, through newborn stage, and just kind of have like a monthly check-in with her.
Do a new client offer?
Right now, we are not able to due to we accept Medicare. So because of Medicare laws, if we give it to one person, we have to give it to all people, and they can't have a discount on their services.
So speaking to that, you take all major insurances, I assume so?
Yes. But always double check with your insurance companies. Just because we say yes, I would always double check. I would always call them or look up your benefits and stuff if you have like one of the apps that tells you your benefits.
Okay, so I've been seeing a chiropractor for half my life, like as long as I can remember. And
that's kind of frustrating.
Well, yeah, I am her customer. Yeah. But where I was going with that was they have always been male doctors.
Yeah.
And I remember when I met you at Operation Juliet, I was like, you're a chiropractor?
Yeah.
Like, I had never seen a female chiropractor. And to Shelby and John's point about video and YouTube specifically, I think that's brilliant because I know there are more of you, but there's not a lot. No. Like here in town, I think you're the only one I know.
I was like, I know.
Is there a couple? Okay.
Yeah, like the Myers, Kim Meyer, okay. And then I think she has 2 associates that are female too. Dr. O'Toole. I think there's like 1 or 2 other ones.
Okay. But I think that having a YouTube channel specifically as like a female chiropractor is an angle that is not explored a whole lot on there. So
Yeah.
I think you should check that out.
Seth, I'm coming in.
Yeah, a couple thoughts on that. So I don't know if you've looked at trying to put your name out with like local gyms. I know the gym I go to, I've seen pamphlets from places that do chiropractic work and other things. And so I don't know if that's an option for somebody. If you've got a pamphlet or a flyer or even just business cards, so you're able to display for people. I know especially CrossFit gyms are probably good for stuff like that. But and then in terms of kids too, I mean, teen sports, youth sports, travel teams, whatever, are massive. Yeah. And so I don't know necessarily how to go about doing that, but trying to get connected with specifically travel teams maybe.
I would love that. I just don't know who to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that one either. But
maybe someone else knows.
We just put it out there right now.
Yeah, it's in the energy air.
She's got a full page of notes. You're good. Awesome.
Duffy. That's who you talk to.
Duffy.
You run soccer.
Okay.
Hey. I got a couple questions. Well, I guess one could go off the sports stuff, like ballet, or in the dancing and all that stuff.
Oh.
Like, is it Nava or Nova? Yeah, performing arts. And then I think there's one like right up as you're going up the airport road or something. There's one over there.
Didn't think of those.
But yeah, I was going to say, because I just know like basically the impact on the body, and then like hockey.
Hockey, yeah.
There's plenty of girls in hockey, I can imagine, and just anything like that. But what was I? Oh yeah, the other thing was this arthritis and things like that.
Yeah.
Young and old, I mean, like I don't know. At times I'll have, actually, as a matter of fact, I have like an issue with my thumb right here, and so I was wondering about. I don't know the exact question that I'm trying to ask for that about, but like to prevent it and things that help with that, especially with the hands.
So with the hands particularly, we can adjust those. So if there's a joint in the body, we can technically adjust it. Can. Yep. So with arthritis in particular, that is a hard. Basically, by the time we all get to a certain age, we will all have arthritis. That is just how the body progresses in life. So to kind of help with some of that pain and stuff, when you get adjusted, it just keeps everything moving. It keeps some of that inflammation down. The other side of that is getting some good omegas in your diet, not just from fish, but actually taking like fish oils. That helps a lot and just kind of keeps that inflammation level decreased. So then you're not feeling as much of the pain. I'm not going to say it prevents arthritis because we still haven't discovered that yet. But it might help you just feel better in general. And that's something that if a patient brings that to me, then I will sit there and talk with them about it. And just say, hey, have you tried this yet? And see what they've tried, what they haven't tried. Kind of dig a little deeper into their history.
Are you, I don't know what the rules and regulations are in your industry, but are you allowed to, because it sounds like with pregnant women and with women in general and with kids, that's a really, my mind immediately thinks there's a signature program and a video series that can possibly be purchased, because I think you could provide the free information, but then like if you get your YouTube channel up and going, then the kind of next level is like, well, I have this whole video series on practices when you're pregnant or whatever. And that kind of ties into that holistic medicine piece.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the rules are if you're allowed to do that. Cause that could be multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the rules are under your chiropractic office or with the industry in general. So
yeah, that one I would have to look into.
Yeah.
I know like we can have videos that talk about patients without saying their names and stuff like that. So patient A, whatever. And I know we can do educational videos. I'm just not sure on the
on the paywall.
Yeah.
Because that's a way to really develop your positioning yourself as an expert in that niche.
Yeah.
So, especially with women's issues, especially all that, all the things.
I just saw a bus roll by that had a chiropractor on the side of it.
Dr. Mitchell.
Yep. So if somebody says to you, what's the separator? What's the difference between you and Dr. Jeff? Or maybe not necessarily him, but just in general, why should I come to you?
So one, I am a smaller person than a lot of the men in town, so I do have a lighter touch typically. And then I also enjoy doing some of that muscle work stuff with it. So not just snap, crack, pop. Sometimes that is all that it's needed. You just kind of sit there and it goes, ding, and I'm like, oh, never mind. But then sometimes I do have to dig in a little bit. Like if someone's having some like tennis elbow or something, I can dig in on that. I can do cupping on that. I call it scraping. So basically what it is it's this stainless steel tool.
You're saying scraping and a stainless steel tool.
It doesn't have a sharp edge on it, but you go through the muscle and you're trying to break up the adhesions in there. So I had
just kidding you.
Yeah. I had surgery last May on my ankle, and with the swelling and everything, I did that around that area just to get the swelling to move. And that really helped. I feel like I'm almost a year out from that surgery, and I feel like I'm doing better than if I wouldn't have done some of that type of stuff.
Here's a question I don't think anybody's brought up yet, but one of the biggest pain points, no pun intended, that I hear from a lot of people is their sleep.
Yep.
Beds, things like that, how they sleep, side sleep,
Yep.
Person's got sleep apnea, all those things. What kinds of questions do you get regarding sleep, and do you have some thoughts on that?
So it's more of me asking them. They'll come in complaining of low back pain, neck pain. Oh man, I didn't sleep last night. So then I ask, oh, how old is your mattress? Definitely 8 years is about the max a mattress can hold. What about your pillows? How old are your pillows? Because sometimes, like I know I use the big king size pillows and those start coming down at about 2 years. And then I ask, are you a side sleeper, back sleeper, stomach sleeper? Do you have any extra things that you get attached to at night? I actually went to Mattress Firm on King in, I think it's 19th, and asked them, I was like, do you guys have recommendations on mattresses and stuff? So now I have a person there I can send people to and say, hey, go talk to this guy. He's the knowledge expert on mattresses and stuff, whereas I know the basics.
That was actually going to be my suggestion or question is, do you have a guy or a girl that you're recommending for those things? And then to look really at like the different things that you're talking to people about, and do you have a reciprocal relationship with,
right.
I don't know if it's like a chair, a certain chair, or, different kinds of things that you're making recommendations for. And then are they, referring people back to you, and you're really, really developing those relationships. I think that could be really, really powerful for you as well.
The other places I went to was Total Nutrition on Grand and 16th. I gave them my cards, and then they gave me refer cards.
That's Mason. He loves to do videos. Yeah.
And then I went to Zakara, the lingerie store on King. And again, they gave me refer cards. I gave them cards. I do recommend them for that type of shopping. Their place is fantastic. You just walk in and you're like, oh, this is nice.
So, is there anything kind of novel but common that people should see you for? So, like, I know the classic, I pulled my back, or like I've got tennis elbow, something. Those things kind of occur to people, but is there anything that doesn't really occur to people, but you find yourself seeing people often for?
He's so smart.
I was like, probably like knee pain. They're like, yeah, my low back hurts and my knee hurts. A lot of times those go hand in hand. So my story on that one is my mom, she kept complaining of like pain on the foot and then in that knee. And I was like, well, let me check your back. Let me just see if maybe that's what it is that it's showing up lower in the chain. And that's what it was. Started adjusting her back, started adjusting the knee, and she's like, yeah, now it's fine. I don't have that. So sometimes people don't correlate. A lot of our stuff comes from the feet up, because that's our grounding work. So if you're not wearing the right shoes, if you're not exercising enough, that type of stuff, you'll notice like oh, I started exercising. Now my knee hurts. Like, okay, let me check your back, see what's going on there. If that's good, then let's go down the chain, or let's come up the chain and see. Or carpal tunnel. Sometimes it's not from the wrist, it's actually from your neck. So we start adjusting the neck, and they're like, yeah, my carpal tunnel's gone. So that's one that I see.
I had a question. I know you said like you guys are doing like radio, testing in that. Has Picker Chiropractic or you guys, have you ever done anything with more like Google ads or SEO or online advertising, anything like that?
The Google stuff, I need to find someone that can help me with that one. Okay. I have tried to figure it out myself and I got lost.
Okay. I just don't know if like Pickard has ever done that or if that's something they've looked into. Yeah.
I am not confident on that answer. I know I want to do more Google reviews and stuff for myself.
Yeah.
And just
this
say, hey.
Is not a knock on you guys, but like I searched chiropractors in Billings.
Yeah.
And Pickard doesn't show up.
What's funny though, if you go down Central, like 2 blocks, then he shows up.
Yeah, so you'd show up if you're right near it. You'd show up in local listings.
Trying to figure that part out, I get lost.
Okay.
Well, you're in the right place.
I am not tech savvy like that.
When he asked you the question about other things that people don't, it made me think like I have a current shoulder injury.
Yeah.
And all I've been thinking is I need to get into the ortho guys. They're going to tell me I need surgery. I don't have time for that. So I'm just avoiding the whole thing.
I get it.
So it makes me curious, like, oh, I wonder if adjusting my back would help this shoulder pain or the cupping.
Possible.
So I just think even reminding people that a lot of things, it might be here, but the source might be elsewhere, and reminding people that is a big deal. Or between my ears. Yes. Thanks, Leif.
So that I actually just did a series on our social media saying, do you have knee pain? Do you have hip pain? Do you have foot pain? Just to kind of spark that thought of, oh, we can treat more than just the spine.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Can you do off-site adjustments?
Like right here.
Well, maybe there's that, but I'm just thinking like the lunch and learns or something like that where you could invite some people and you could do, maybe not adjustments, but maybe like a check-in, check-up, some kind of a thing.
If I was going to do something like that, I would do it at the office just so that we're safe.
That's not off-site, though. I'm just teasing you. Totally kidding.
I was just going to say, like, on the hand, not just like arthritis, but with the carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Or the carpal tunnel or something like that, how would it adjust it? That's kind of a form of what I was asking, but I'm terrible at asking my questions. Yeah. So anyways, but you answered it so that things that you else adjust.
Like my aunt, she, they said, yeah, you have carpal tunnel. And they did the hand surgery, didn't do anything. So then they went up into the shoulders and it kind of did it. But it's one of those things that it could possibly be coming from our neck because all of our nerves start in our spine. So it can come from basically either the spine or it could be, yes, you do have something here in the wrist for carpal tunnel. But sometimes you go to a doctor and you say, oh, I have carpal tunnel. They're like, oh, let's just snip it. And it's like, that might not be the answer. You might still have the same problem. So exploring more than just going to your general practitioner is something that I encourage a lot of patients to do. Say, hey, look at other.
To David's point, a little bit. So my chiropractor is my I treat him as my general, right? Like all the things that are going on, he knows all the things, and I ask him all the things about all the things, right? So, and I didn't know that before I started seeing him. Yes. I don't know, it's probably been 7 or 8 years ago now, but I think that's a great, like people don't know. They think it's only about adjustments and it's only about this, but gosh, if I have anything going on, or he's really great about asking me what's going on with this, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is actually happening, and it's totally unrelated to being adjusted at all. And so I think there are some opportunities to be able to share, like you said, the supplements, or it's not always about a supplement. Sometimes it's just about like something I didn't realize that I could do myself, right? Yeah. That they're really great. You're really great about educating people on that.
And that's a big part of what we do is education. And just kind of getting the patients that we have to understand that, hey, there's more to it.
Sure, yeah. Do you want to go over how your pricing works in terms of what the patients pay out of pocket, insurance, and kind of give just kind of a general overview?
So with insurance in particular, they kind of have like a deal. I don't know how their side of it works. So let's say the one off the top of my head I can think of is Blue Cross Blue Shield. You'll come in, give us your insurance cards. You put in all the information, verify it, and they come back and tell us, kinda, it's more, yeah, it's like, so if you have a deductible, it will say, like, you have to wait until your deductible's met, and then we will cover 10 visits. Medicare, they set their rates at the beginning of the year, and they typically don't change throughout the year. So I know with them, like, our new patient exam is $175. And then while they're in active care, Medicare typically covers it. I'm not going to say they do it every time. There's some weird, but that price, it's set and it doesn't really change. Now with someone that is not that is up in the air until you come in or you call. I know some people, they have like an $8,000 deductible, so they will probably never get covered sometimes. Or they'll say, hey, our allowment, so we'll send in for $65 and they'll say, oh, we only allow you to bill the patient $58.94. So there's that too. Some of that we don't know until you show up. Now, if you're all cash, we do a little bit of a discount for cash. And if you tell us ahead of time, the Tana, who's our front desk lady, she's fantastic. She knows all those numbers off the top of her head. I do not. I know enough to get by, but that's not my wheelhouse.
So a couple things. You're up and down the chain thing.
Yeah.
I've always had knee issues, and it used to be it'd start aching, so I'd lay off it for a day or two and kind of go back to normal. One time I started hurting, and I was walking on the rocks by the river and twisted again. And so I went and saw the chiropractor, and he's like, oh yeah, it's back and twisted. And he pops it back into place. He's looking, and he's like, this foot's really flat. Have you had an ankle injury? And I thought back, I rolled it really badly playing soccer when I was 15 years old. And so he started adjusting that, because basically you roll your ankle, it stretches the tendons.
Yep.
And if you don't put it back in place and let the tendons heal where they should, they heal all stretched out, and it causes issues all up the side of my body. We fixed that. My knee stopped hurting as much until I tore my meniscus 6 times and had to have it replaced. That was fun. But the point is, something you could talk to patients about is, have you had injuries 20 years ago that are just now showing up as hip, knee, or back pain? And it's not even, I thought it was a knee problem. It turns out it's a foot problem.
I try in my new patient exam to ask, is there any injuries? So that way I can kind of have an idea of what's going on as we're starting the first adjustment. And then see, oh, hey, we're 3 adjustments in, your knee problem got fixed, but now we have a foot problem. So they're correlated. I'm saying, hey.
Scott just needs new flip-flops.
I have 3 backup pairs at home. But it's good to talk to the new patients, but it's another disruptor that you have back problems now, you can do your promo work and say, your ankle injury from when you were 12 is why your back hurts every morning. Right. And then people are like, what? And then now they're following you, they're binging all your other content, and they're like, shoot, I need to go see her. The other idea was, do you like adjusting infants?
Oh, so much.
So that's another disruptor. People don't think of chiropractor and infants, and you can do some of your outreach as every newborn needs to see a chiropractor for at least the first 6 weeks of their life.
Yes.
And people are like, why? And so now they're reading more into it. Like, oh shoot, my baby cries after eating every single day. This is why. And I wish I would have known that, because we spent a fortune on Nutramigen formula because my baby couldn't hold anything down, and it would have been a lot cheaper to see a chiropractor.
Do you, I know it's a setup question before we get to Danielle. Do you guys have like massage therapists, things like that can augment what you're doing?
So we do have a massage therapist on staff. Her name is Shayla. She's fantastic. She's there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Do you know Megan with Fit for Mom?
No.
Okay. Remind me to introduce you to Megan.
I'll text you.
And have you talked to anybody in the Yellowstone County Mental Health Alliance? Just because, like, I know working with clients that have trauma, and we know a lot more about how the body holds trauma.
So
I
much.
think adjusting it to be able to refer people as clients to you and to a massage therapist to get more of a holistic approach, I think is a great idea.
Okay. That'd be a good one.
Yes. Well, I wanted to tag on, and we got to wrap up here. What Emily was talking about is that she has a trust with her with her chiropractor, right? And then you can get into all those other things of what's happening, and so that's really what you're trying to do, right? Is because people do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? And you're very likable. You seem very trustworthy,
right?
And so all those things, I think, like you said, it'll continue to build. It's just getting
that foot.
Yeah. Anybody else? Got one last question. Great. So what's the best way for people to follow you and catch up with you? One more time.
Facebook is Pickard Chiropractic. Instagram is Pickard Chiropractic Clinic. I did not put those on there, and I should have. And then my personal email address is up there.
Sam's Chiro.
0
at Gmail. And then 2820 Central. So is that just because foodie, is that close to Papa John's?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're like catty corner to the Billings Weston Clinic.
Yeah. It's like Papa Tuesday.
Yeah. So there's like Brewer Dental is the big one that you see. And then we're like back on like the side of the building. Montana Title Company is there too. And I think there's like a Farmers Bureau in the back corner. Yeah. We're in that little group.
Well, great. Well, hopefully you got some value, got your questions answered. Yes. How about a big hand for Dr. Sam?
Thank you.